All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be doing the 2023 Cabin Fever Challenge. Now, this is the first time that I've ever attempted to do this challenge. I believe it was started in the early 2000s by a couple Canadian shooters, and the goal of the competition is to kind of test your musketry and marksmanship skills. And so basically, the rules are pretty simple. You have a preset target, and you are going to go into four positions in the same order, and you're going to fire 5 shots per position. So position 1 is standing, position 2 is kneeling, position 3 is prone, and then position 4 is sitting, in that order. And then you have to reload between each of those different positions. And so I'm competing in 2 different divisions. So division 1 is antique semi-automatics. So I'm going to be using my M1 Garand today. And then we also have division 3. I'm going to be using my model 1917, also chambered in the 30-06. This is your bolt, basically your bolt action centerfire rifles. There are 6 divisions in total, I believe, and this is at 100 yards or 100 meters, and let's see how we do. Before we begin the competition, I do want to just show an example of the target and the rules as far as scoring. And so if you hit any of the black circle at 100 yards, or pierce the line between the black and the white, it counts as a hit. But if you're outside that in any way, it does not count as a hit. And then the hits with inside the black are also just scored equally. There's no, it doesn't matter if you're closer or further outside the center. The other thing I want to mention too is that scoring, everything's timed, and so you're going to take your hits on target, times that by 5, divide that by the times in seconds, and then you're going to times that figure by 100 to get your score. I do want to mention real quickly that I'm just reviewing the reloading and ammunition rules for Division 1 semi-automatics. And it said, if the participant is entering with semi-automatic rifle, then magazines must be charged with no more than 5 rounds. Shooters must rack the rifle after every reload. Just noticing that the M1 Garand has an 8-round M-block clip. I'm not sure if I can just charge only 5 rounds, and I don't have an M1 Garand clip that is adaptable for 5 rounds currently with me. I actually read this rules before I came to the range, so I can't clarify with the Division 1 leader at this moment. But what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to load the M-block clip of the full 8 rounds, fire 5 of them, and then discharge the extra 3 rounds out of the top, and then reload a fresh clip, fire 5, kick those out of the top, and then put in another 5 for each position. So this may disqualify me, but just a heads up for those of you who are watching. All right, again, I don't know if this is going to disqualify me because I'm using 8-round M-block clips for the M1 Garand, but regardless, this will be a good practice of my marksmanship skills. So here we go.
Rifle caliber 30 M1, commonly known as the Garand, is not only a dependable weapon, it also has a terrific wallop, better known as firepower. In fact, one man firing a Garand can do nearly as much damage as 3 men using the old-type Springfield rifle with its anti-plated bolt. Now, to understand the reason behind this increased firepower, you have to know how the operates. So let's take it step by step. The M1 is a semi-automatic gas-operated air-tuned weapon. It's fed from a clip that holds 8 rounds. And only a fraction of a second after the trigger is pressed, a bullet is on its way. In this fraction of a second, many important steps occur. We'll take a few minutes and show you. So let's Let's begin by loading a fresh clip and using an animated diagram. This shows what happens when the clip is inserted. The bottom cartridge forces the follower down. The follower arm moves, and its heel rotates the accelerator, camming the operating catch down.
Okay, so looking at the M1 Garand, Division 1, we've got 1, 2, 3 hits out of the 20. So, and then 3 on paper, and the rest, I imagine, went all around. So, not the best, but you'll see the score here at the end. Hey everyone, wanted to just kind of give you a few post-shoot thoughts and wrap up points. After doing this competition, the first year I've done this, you really have to respect the importance of practice and proficiency with your weapons. This was much harder than I anticipated it being. I don't know why. I'm usually used to shooting at a bench or on a rest, and doesn't seem like a big deal. So standing up, sitting, going prone, kneeling, didn't seem like a big deal. And after this, I kind of have a newfound respect for these different, I guess you could say, competitions. I know there's different iterations of sort of the Cabin Fever Challenge. But, I think, when I do this again next year, I want to emphasize, one, practice throughout the year for myself, specifically with, I don't know if I would use the same rifles or if I would choose different rifles for next year, but just practicing proficiency, whether it's a stripper clip or an end block clip or, however you're loading your rifle, being able to do it very quickly without any sort of jams occurring is something to not take for granted. The other thing too is the importance of physical fitness. I noticed that when I was toggling between the different positions, sometimes it felt a little hard, and I'm like, man, motivation to run more. I've got to sweat off this gut. And then also, just kind of not being able to rest your rifle on anything or having any sort of support really does give you a little bit of an understanding of the skill it required to shoot at this distance, especially, like I said, an 8-inch target. I think a lot of us, when we're shooting at 100 yards, we're shooting at silhouettes or we're shooting at large targets. And so, just more motivation to practice harder for next year's competition. So anyway, I will go ahead and compare the scores. You'll see the scores for, I submitted Division 1 and Division 3. So I'm just including this bit in both of those videos. But just wanted to say overall thank you to the organizers of this competition and to the division leaders. I thought this was excellent, and looking forward to next year's competition.